These are all pictures of Newbridge in the 1920s. Okay, this picture is from the top of Eyre Street, or the back street, so you sometimes hear it called. And it's looking down Eyre Street. So down to your left down there will be down towards the sports centre and the parish centre and the community college. And then down to your right would be the post office. So we'll point out a couple of things here. You can see there's no cars in this picture. A lot of men on horses and in carts, and it is a lot of men at the time. So I would say this is probably a fair day. They've come into the town to sell things. And you see these young children here, these look like boys, and they're wearing shorts, because that was the way back then. Young boys, they always wore shorts. And you see a lot of the men, they're wearing hats. And again, that was just the way at the time. Okay, this picture is from, if you stood outside Young's Medical Hall. So just behind this boy here will be Young's Medical Hall. And over here will be where the post office is today. And that's the town hall. So that's still there. And you can see again, there's no cars. So that everyone is traveling either on foot, possibly on bicycle, but a lot of horse and cart. And you can see this man here looks like he's dressed like a policeman. Now, this building is the Bank of Ireland, and maybe it was a bank at the time as well, because see the bars on the windows and so on. That would suggest that it possibly was a bank at the time. And Young's Medical Hall is just off this side of the picture here. And so you're heading down here, the bus stop will be around here, and you're heading down the main street. You can see there's a few dogs going around. In fact, there's quite a few dogs in this picture. And you see there's no tar on the street, so the street would have been just, I suppose, a mud street at the time. Now this is a picture of the bridge, so I suppose standing somewhere down near the bottom of Eyre Street and looking across, you can see how old the bridge is at the time. And you see where they're looking at the camera. The reason was, these days we all have a camera. Everyone has a phone, has a camera. So taking a picture is nothing really unusual. But back in these days, about 100 years ago, it was unusual. So if someone was taking a picture, everybody kind of looked at them. And see the bridge. See this chimney in the background? So kind of down where the back of our school is really, there used to be a kind of a factory down there. And again, you can see the boys, even the young boys are wearing hats. Okay, so this is taken from the other side of the bridge, and this here will be the park, so you'll be kind of coming up the hill up towards Royston. And of course today there's a footpath down along here, and it leads down to the other end of the park. And across here you can see the church. Our school would have been here, where all these trees are. And this here, that was the old Patrician Brothers Monastery, which is actually at the end of the driveway to the monastery now. That's where the old monastery building was. It was basically just at the boardwalk there. And that's Newbridge College down there. And you can see the old style bridge. And this is what they call the watering gates. That's still there down at the park. Kind of semicircular shaped thing. And you can go down to the bars there. And the weir. The weir is kind of rocks in the river, and I suppose a very, very mini waterfall, if you want to call it that. This would be Johnson's pub here. And the library will be over here. So again, you can see the road is kind of just muddy kind of road. Okay, this is taken from outside the parish centre. The parish centre is just over here, so just to the side of this one with the pram. And if you were standing here and looking it down, this would be the post office. That would be the Bank of Ireland. And down here would be Eyre Street. Then down here again would be Eyre Street. And over your right shoulder here would be the sports centre. And again, let's look at just a couple of things in this. Look at the size of the pram. So the pram is huge, like a big massive shopping trolley really. And prams these days of course are very small, but back in those days prams were massive. And this woman is out and she's wearing a hat. So when women left the house as well, they wore hats. These look like children really on the with the and this is a donkey and cart, and that's how they got around. And you can see that there are telephone poles up, so they did have telephones at the time, or even telegraph poles maybe. Maybe they're sending telegraphs. There might have been one or two phones in the town. Maybe there was a phone at the post office. Maybe there was a phone at the Garda station. But there wouldn't have been. Everyone definitely wouldn't have had a phone in their house at the time. No way. And here's a party then, somewhere in the 1920s. And you see the women had short hair. A lot of them, that was the style in the 1920s, that women would have short hair like that. And here's a picture of a family outside. They must own that shop. I don't exactly know where that is, but you can tell it's a very, very old photo. Look at it, it's all cracked. Now they probably would have got dressed up for a photograph, because a photograph was such an unusual occurrence that you wanted to look your best. So people often did just get dressed up if they knew there was a photo going to be taken.